Well, guys, I thought today was going to be a very quiet day. I didn't think there were going to be any big reveals, media or gaming-wise. I didn't think we were going to have any major news or controversies, given that, the Acolytes are a couple of days past now. The Boys hasn't started yet. Figured it was going to be a pretty calm day. And then the BioWare team decided to drop a pretty big blog post on us, either late last night or early this morning, I'm not sure. And it's about the new Dragon Age game, which I am pretty excited about. I am a big Dragon Age fan. I should rephrase that. I'm a big BioWare. I very much enjoy the first two Mass Effects, Dragon Age Origins, and Dragon Age Inquisition. There may be one more on the list, but those are the four that I really enjoy. No sense in making it out to be more than it is. So they're changing the name from Dreadwolf to the Veilguard, which I had to expect there, being a name change at this point. It was still pretty early in development when they started calling it Dreadwolf. And it looks like it's coming out this year. No official confirmation on that, but we will find out June 11th at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. If you're not American, I don't know what time that is, but I'm sure you can figure it out. So let's go ahead and go over the blog post and talk about some details. So they start out, "Hi everyone. Summer's nearly upon us, and as promised, we are ready to provide an update on our big reveal. We'd like to invite the world to join us on Tuesday, June 11th for the official first look at gameplay for the next Dragon Age." I'm wondering if official is a subtle nod to the fact that they're trying to get ahead of a leak, but it's been in development for a long time. And you would have to expect that it's probably pretty close to the finish line. So they go on. "After Dragon Age Inquisition launched, the studio was given an incredible opportunity to explore, test, and validate a variety of gameplay concepts as we work to determine what the next Dragon Age could look like. We brought everything to the table, which, yes, even included a multiplayer concept. The time we spent iterating and experimenting gradually taught us a lot. This work and the amazing support from EA helped us refocus on creating an incredible single-player game with all the choices, characters, and world building you'd expect from us." Now that sounds really good. But the cynic in me, the jaded AAA gamer who has become more and more disappointed as the years have gone on, can't help but read between the lines to this being more of an excuse for why it's taken so long than anything to be particularly excited about. Of course, they were going to land on an exciting single-player game with all the characters, choices, and world building they're known for. They were never going to make a multiplayer Dragon Age game. And I'm sure they concepted the hell out of it. Live service is a very real thing. I'm sure EA was leaning on them heavily to try that. I'm sure that's where the amazing support from EA came from. Leaning on them heavily to try something that ultimately didn't work. And I'm glad that EA backed off, apparently. Again, I'm reading between the lines. But I'm glad that they're going to get a chance to do what they do best. Going on. "At BioWare, we create worlds of adventure, conflict, and companionship, where you are at the center of it all. As fans of our franchise know, every Dragon Age game has delivered a new, standalone story. Set in the world of Thetis, these tales explore epic locales and threats, always thrusting you into a new conflict. Each game also introduces a new hero, the Warden, Hawk, the Inquisitor, that you can call your own. You can expect all that and more with the new game. And of course, much like your unique hero, it wouldn't be a Dragon Age game without an amazing cast of companions, right? So this feels pretty boilerplate. It's hard to get too excited about them deciding that there's going to be a cool hero, a globe-spanning conflict, and a cast of characters that are your companions. That's about as standard as BioWare gets. I'm not trying to crap on anybody's parade here, but I can't get excited so far because this is about as generic as a press release can be so far. Each of the 7 unique characters that make up your companions will have deep and compelling storylines, where decisions you make will impact your relationships with them, as well as their lives. You will unite this team of unforgettable heroes as you take on a terrifying new threat unleashed upon the world. Naturally, the Dreadwolf still has an important part in this tale, but you and your companions, not your enemies, are the heart of this new experience. This is the first part of today's press release that actually has me excited. They have some big shoes to fill after Baldur's Gate 3 and there have been several others since Dragon Age Inquisition. But Baldur's Gate 3 is the big one, the big elephant in the room. They're going to have a hard time out-companioning those companions. But a lot of the Baldur's Gate 3 companions were so archetyped, so stereotyped, so uniquely weird in their specificity that I think some better generalized companions, along with some extremely unique ones, but some that the actual player character can put themselves in their shoes. I couldn't put myself in the shoes of Karlach or Asterion or what's his name? That black guy. It doesn't matter. Whatever his name was. I couldn't put myself in those characters' shoes. They were just too different, too weird, too unique. If Dragon Age could make some characters that are more relatable, I think they could do something special with that. I like the idea of companion quests being the focus of a story. And I think that their change to the name of Veilguard over Dreadwolf is going to lean into that. I suspect that it is going to have something to do with, the veil in Thedas is like the divider between the metaphysical and the physical worlds. I suspect this is about how the different species and cultures and groups handle protecting Thedas from threats from the other side of the veil, and you wrangling these characters into a cohesive group, similar to maybe Mass Effect 2 and the whole Normandy sequence. That could be cool. Not that it has to be a suicide run, but that, that aspect of bringing together a team could be really interesting if done well. And BioWare's got a track record of doing it well when they're given the time and they're not leaned on too heavily to do what they don't want to do. So to finish up the blog post, to capture what this game is all about, we changed the name, as the original title, Dreadwolf, didn't show just how strongly we feel about our new heroes, their stories, and how you'll need to bring them together to save all of Thedas. We proudly introduce you to Dragon Age, the Veilguard. So, I'm excited for next Tuesday, the 11th. I'm curious about the gameplay reveal. I'm curious if we're going to see a September, October, November release date. That would be pretty cool, because right now it is a very, very skimpy fall when it comes to any games, let alone AAA RPGs. And I'm excited. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't want to be too excited. BioWare's had their hits, but they've also had their stinkers. But yeah, that's the news about Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this? like I said, cautiously optimistic, hopeful for the best. I will be back next Tuesday with my thoughts on the gameplay reveal. But for now, let me know. Are you excited for this? Has Dragon Age's time passed? Has BioWare's time passed? Or are we looking at a little bit of a resurgence this year? Let me know. Again, my name's Tim. Glad you came by. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.